Hello everybody. Today I'm going to explain how I build my fences. Right here to right there is 8 feet. From this post to the next post is 8 feet. The next one 8 feet, and so on and so on. That's the principal way of building fences. Everybody pretty much understands that. So you ask, how do I get that one to be at that height, this one at this height, and so on? And they're all in the same height. I use a string line down here, and I use a string line up here. Both string lines are going to be either on this side or that side, either way, whatever side I decide to pull that string line. The string line that is on this side at the bottom down there, this post barely has to touch that string line. The top string line, same thing, so that this post doesn't either go higher than the string line nor lower than the string line. It has to be just there. You could be off 1, 2/16. Down here you could be close 1 or 2/16, but get it pretty much there. You don't have to be perfectly perfect. There's nothing really perfect in this world, so do the greatest that you possibly can. Now, how I do it is I put that post first and that very last post way out there first also. So these two posts, the one over here and that one over there, get done first before any of these posts get put in between. Now, once that is done, once you said, okay, that's exactly where that post is going to go, due to a property stake, or maybe you're on your own property, you got 50 acres and that's what you just want to fence off. However it's done, who cares? But once you decide where it's going to go and you start this, you always have to do that one first and the very last one over there first before you put these guys in between. Now, why do I do one 2x4 that is 8 feet long only, but this top one and that bottom one is 16 feet long? This would be the starting, because when all three posts are 2x4s, this one, and that bottom one meet here in the center, this post becomes the weakest part of the fence. If it's cracked up here and the wind is pushing, this starts swiveling a little bit. I mean, everything's gonna move, but being that this one is running from that first post to that third post there, this one is the strongest, this one is the weakest, and you'll see that one down there is also the strongest. Now we come over here. Here's your weak point, here's your strong point, and here's your weak point. And then we move over again and it gets reversed. Weak, strong, strong. Why do I do it that way? Well, it only makes sense to pick up a 2x4 that's 16 feet long and install it instead of using a whole bunch of 2x4s that are 8 feet long. Work smart, not hard. That's one. Alright, so now let's pretend that a 2x4 is $5. So you buy a 2x4 that is $5, and you buy a 2x4, let's pretend its price that a 2x4 that is 8 feet compared to a 2x4 that is 16. 2x4 that is 8 is, let's pretend, $5, and let's pretend this one is $7.50. Doesn't it make sense to buy the $7.50 to save money? So there's another one. So you're going to work smarter, not harder, and you're not going to have so many breaks here in the middle of the post. You're staggering all the breaks. So that's the strong point, that's the weak point, and that's that's your strong point, and your weak point. Then you move on to the next post and it's reversed. You got a weak point down there, strong point, and a weak point. And then it gets reversed again, and so on down the line. So when the winds come and it's pushing on this post, my post right here happens to be 2 feet 6 inches deep, and then this piece that is sticking out from the ground there, the remaining, each one is going to vary because the dirt is going up and down, up and down. It doesn't matter what the dirt does, as long as you know that from right here at the top, pulling the string line meets to the top of that one, to the top of the next one, and so on all the way down the line. I don't bury them 16 or 18 inches deep like most fencing companies. They are buried at bare minimum of 2 feet deep, and that's the end result that you get there. The reason I do that is because most fencing companies, they'll bury it 16 inches deep, let's say 20 inches at the most, and then they cut the tops off, and you'll always see where they cut them. You can always take mic caps off, insert a tape measure inside of that post, and you'll be able to measure the length of the post and subtract what is sticking out, and you can make an easy assumption of what was buried and what is sticking out. I build them extraordinarily strong for that whole purpose of making something last a little bit longer than the average. Thank you for your attention. Hope this video was helpful. Have a great day.